Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to another Force of Will news. Quite a bit happened, actually. There's a decent amount of news, and then a lot of stuff happened in the last little bit here that I'll go over real quick. Still, once again, no Q&A from Jordan, and no box opening from him, essentially. So, not sure what's going on there, but hopefully we'll find out soon. I know, once again, that he's gone away for a certain amount of time around this time each year, but maybe I just miss seeing him. But we'll get right into this. So first thing I want to real quick go over is they did surprise release the entire list of cards onto the Force of Will website. So if you're curious and want to see those, they're all on their official Force of Will website. They released the entire set of, so essentially spoiled every last card that's in the set. It's interesting, it was planned for, I think it was Thursday, and that's when they usually do it, but they did it earlier. It might be to counteract the leaks that usually happen around this time, each time a set comes out, so maybe it's just sort of get ahead of the game or something like that. Tomorrow, or no, later today, or before this video, at some point, subscribe, because Joe's going to have a video going over those cards, as well as what cards you might want to look for when you're drafting at pre-release this weekend or sealed or whatever it is, and essentially what to look out for that. So be on the lookout for that video if it's not already up. If it's up, check our channel. If not, just stay tuned and that'll be up. A couple quick things I want to go over and note is we do see that there were some of the cards inside of the set itself are the cards that were in starter decks, and they just re-released them inside of the set itself. And it looks like, at least for some of them, I haven't been able to look at every single card, but at least some of them had alternate arts from what was seen before. I could be wrong, but it looked like alternate arts. We saw the basic rulers, which are the draft rulers. So these are the ones with the basic typing. If you remember last week's Force of Will news, I said that I'm pretty sure the basic typing they introduced for J rulers was going to be for these draft rulers, and that did turn out to be the case. And these rulers look like each of the different colors are sort of representative of the abilities of the colors that we've seen so far. So the yellow one has gem production, like the yellow ruler. The black one has mystery token production, like the black ruler. So these draft rulers essentially work in tandem with the cards in the set that are meant to support other rulers. So that way when you go and draft, it's not a big deal if you don't pull the ruler, because these ones not only substitute for them, but in my opinion, in a lot of cases, actually might work a lot better in the draft format itself. They might lose some of that power outside of the draft, just because the other rulers, especially with the J activation and different abilities, work better when you construct the deck and have time to do it. But things like that void, being able to produce any will, having will production and being able to produce any will is very strong in draft. So having that as a side thing on each of these rulers is pretty strong in my opinion. So we'll see how that goes, but I really like the look of them and the way they go in tandem with things. An interesting thing to note is at the end of, if you scroll to the very end of the cards that were released inside of the set, you see these variants, and one variant that was pointed out, for example, was this one. So, wrong side, this one. So you see it's the 1000 defense and all that, and if you look at this one, it's slightly different art, and it has 100 less defense, but now it also has first strike. So that's really interesting, and one thing I brought up to Oscar, I'm not sure if it's technically has the same name or not, if you'd only be able to run like 2 and 2 if you wanted to run both of them, or if you could actually run 4 and 4 if they technically have the same name or not, to only run 4 in your deck and different things like that. So it's really interesting. So we'll hopefully get some clarity as well as that. And two quick ones I want to note is Oscar's really excited about this one cost cancel. It's a one cost green. It cancels target quick cast card. So that's any quick cast. It's a counter for severing winds, for example, and different things like that. So that's really cool. So there's a lot of really cool cards that aren't that'll really complement the decks in here, but also help serve as counters, I feel like, for decks from Lapis Cluster. So we don't have this huge power surge going in that Lapis Cluster is just going to still dominate while these new rulers and cards try to make their way. I feel like some of these cards are going to really help balancing that out. But yeah, moving on, Joey will probably, hopefully, go into more detail regarding this stuff, so I'll wait for him. In other news, in the creator of Force of Will was interviewed about casters, and we learned a couple of things. A couple of things we already knew. So we confirmed that there's 7 different colors instead of just the normal 5 we often see in these trading card games, and each one represents a different planet or star. Like there's the Sun, Venus, Mars, and Mercury, different things like that. So that's kind of cool. If you guys are really into Sailor Moon, that'll be pretty awesome. Like I mentioned before, DMO73 said the playstyle is very similar to Kaijudo, so that hopefully we'll be covering that more as it gets closer to it. The official release date, he said, in Japan is going to be October 6th, and in the US, I believe it's the 20th, they said. And when it releases, we'll only get the first 2 colors, I think, or 2 starter decks, something like that. It was kind of hard to tell. And then every 3 months, they'll introduce another 2 colors. So in about a year, we'll get the actual full set of 7 colors. So that'll be pretty interesting. And so moving on, so the Italian page, I believe it was, Force Will page, posted this image, and so this is sort of their banner and stuff now. A lot of people are saying it's Flute, and so this could be a cool little preview of some stuff to come, possibly. Not sure, but we did have the Italian GP over the weekend, I believe it was. This wasn't very indicative of things to come. This was sort of lagging behind as far as rotation. It still had the Alice cluster to keep it, so keep that in mind. But as far as the turnout of rulers and stuff, the main 4 rulers that pulled up or showed up was there's 37 Fox rulers, 37 Prishas, 17 Lumias, and 17 of the evil Idrisos. And then the next closest one was 7 of Gil Alhamat, and then 4, 3, 2s, and 1s of all the remaining rulers. The top 16 consisted of 5 Fox decks, 3 Lumias, 4 Prishas, and 4 of the evil Idrisos. So that is sort of an interesting way to leave off at going out of the final rotation, I guess, so to speak, going in there. And they did announce that Worlds coming up. So Worlds each year, if you guys don't know, usually it's just the new box that came out, whatever the newest set came out, is all you're able to use for, and they make their decks out of that for the Worlds format. And I believe last year you were able to use the starter decks as well as that first box. So it's sort of this weird wonky format. And this year, for the first time ever, it's just going to be straight New Frontiers format. So for the first time, we're going to see Worlds, and we're going to get an idea of what the meta is going to be going forward, what kind of decks are winning and losing, what sort of surprises there are. It'll be a lot more fun and exciting for me personally to watch, because I like to see that sort of stuff, especially when a set just came out. And I believe they said there's also going to be a draft is going to be part of the Worlds tournament as well. So that'll be cool also to see how drafting works and how the pros really use the drafting in this new set as well.
Hey guys, it's Fury here. Just also letting you know, this just came in. We have really cool promo things. I assume these are going to be the hi dog. The things that are in the set that replace like the band members from last set. Super cool.
And also, just so you guys know, along with Joey's videos, like I said, is going to go over the cards and as well as what stuff to draft going forward at pre-release and stuff. I'll also be having a video coming out Thursday or Friday that'll be sort of a universal video on how to sort of, if you're getting into Force of Will for drafting and stuff like that, how to do it and what sort of you should know going into it. And so it'll be a cool little thing to pin places, and hopefully pretty fun to watch. We have a lot of other stuff in production here that we'll be getting to, so keep your eyes out for that. Subscribe for more news, obviously. We have a Panda game coming out, so be on the lookout for that. Panda deck list and a lot more stuff. So yeah, we'll see you guys next time.